Hi you guys, Kris Carlson here. I'm excited to spend some time with you today and chat with you about a question that I get often, which is, how do you fit everything in your business day? How do you organize your life? So I just wanted to come with you share some tips that I have about how I can maybe help you make life a little bit easier. So the first thing I want to talk about is, we're in party plan, right? That's a big part of our life, is doing parties. So I want to give you permission to own your calendar. You get to decide when you want to do parties and when you want to work. That's the best part of our business, right? Is that we get to decide. The hardest part of our business is that we have to work. I bet you can relate to that. But anyway, so as far as your calendar, make sure that you have a calendar. And I'm going to talk a little bit about this one because I have Belinda Ellsworth's calendar, and I love it. And it helps me to organize my life. And the first thing I do is I sit and I open it up to a month. I've got January here. In January, the first thing I do is I look and I go, what do I have for commitments for my personal life, for my family, for my kids, for my husband? Like, that comes first, always for me. It's the way that I've been happy doing this job for 9.5 years. So put your personal commitments down first, and then make the notes, highlight whatever you want to do the days that you're going to party that month or when you're going to work, because that's going to help you to feel good about the days that you've chosen to work and be excited about them. So then I want you to think like, okay, how many parties a month do I want to do? Set some goals for yourself. We're going into, another year, and how many parties do you want to do? Because the funny thing is, once you get your calendar with your personal commitments on there, you're going to find that you still have plenty of time for your goals for parties. My goal has always been 8 parties a month that I hold. So that means I have to book a lot more. But 8 parties I want to hold. And no matter how busy my life is, I've always been able to fit in 8 parties. It's not always weekly for me, but I can always fit it in throughout the month. So first, set a goal for how many parties you want to have a month. And then I want you to break that down and think weekly, what do I need to be doing? What are my goals with parties? In my opinion, when you're looking at how you spend your business day, the first thing I do every single morning when I wake up is look and go, okay, how does my calendar look? How are my bookings going? Because that's where everything else flows from. That's the success that you're going to have is going to be tied to your party calendar. So always focus there first. Your best work that you're going to do and the easiest work you're going to do is at your parties. That's where all the fun happens. I know that you guys, you're in party plan. I hope you like parties. I know I love parties. So the best thing you can do is really leverage your parties and do your business there. So get as many bookings as you can at your parties. My rule is I want 3 bookings at every party. So a lot of my incentives will be tied to, if 3 of you book, you're going to get this. Or the first 3 of you that book, you're going to get this big incentive. And if all 3 of you book, my hostess is going to get the gift as well, so that they're helping their friends out. But be thinking, I want multiple bookings at every party I do, because if I'm using my parties to work my business, I'm not having to make calls and work outside of work to get other bookings. So that's just a tip to be thinking about. Use your parties. Your best work is right there. Okay, this is another thing that's been so eye-opening and fun for me, because I've been doing a lot of training on the road. And what we do often is we'll do like a booking blitz, or we'll take some time to really focus and dial in on the actual booking part of our business. And it's been amazing to see what happens when people sit down and they take a 15-minute chunk of time to just focus on getting bookings. You guys, I'm telling you, a lot of you think that you're spending a lot of time trying to get bookings, but I'm telling you, you probably aren't. We think we're busier than we are often, and we think that we're working more than we are. That's something that I've learned. So I'm challenging each of you. This is something I've done from the very beginning. With the aspects of our business, our best business practices, bookings, hostess coaching, customer care follow-up, I will put down on my calendar, and I love this Belinda calendar because there's little check marks where you can put down 15 minutes a day, 3 days a week, to make booking lead calls, to try to get bookings. If you just take 15 minutes, like that's such a little amount of time, and only, that doesn't mean you're scrolling on Facebook. That doesn't mean that you're off running and quick putting the laundry in the dryer. It means 15 minutes you are sitting down, really focusing on reaching out to your customers. You'll be amazed at what happens, because when I've been on the road, people have left going, oh my gosh, I just filled my calendar back up. In that little amount of time, I cannot even believe it. So take the time, same with hostess coaching. Just put on your calendar, Tuesdays at 2 o'clock for 15 minutes. I'm gonna look at my party schedule, and I'm gonna see how it looks and who I need to reach out to as far as hostess coaching goes. I always had Wednesdays at 2 p.m. That was my day to do customer care follow-up. And I would, again, take a 15-minute chunk of time and follow up with my customers and often get sales and bookings from doing that. So I guess what I'm trying to tell you is it doesn't take a ton of time to do our business. It takes little incremental, consistent pieces of time. It's the consistency that is the most important part of this whole process. If you are consistent with what you're doing, you will have success, and little bits of consistency. What other tip? So this is another one for if you're a leader, and this is my last tip that I'm going to give you. If you're a leader in the business, if you have team members, I would encourage you to take certain days of the week. This has helped me a lot, where say I have new people joining my team, I have a day of the week where I just am reaching out. Let's say Wednesdays. Wednesday is my day on my calendar that is for following up with my new consultants, new team members, and training them. And Fridays is my day because I have a larger team. That's my senior leader day where I'm spending that time connecting and reaching out to the senior leaders on my team. So you could do like coaching call day. You could do a day where you're working with your young leaders and running a program, and it's always on Thursdays. But if you compartmentalize, which I'm telling you, this calendar is amazing for that, I would encourage you to get something like this where you can compartmentalize your schedule, because it's going to make it a lot easier to organize the things that you want to get done. One more tip. I signed up in this business so that I could be a mom first. That's never ever changed. My baby has now left home and gone to college, but I've been doing this for quite a while. And all the way through, my business has changed. Things have grown. My business has grown. But what has never changed for me is that my kids come first. And so, you know how I said to look at your calendar and put your calendar, like your family activities, down first? Do the same for what you want your day to look like, your work day. If you want to have a successful business, you have to work. I will tell you that. You have to make time for your work. But you also want to make time for when you're done and when you're not working. Because I know a lot of you feel like you are working all the time. And that's because you're answering every text at every different time of the day. And you don't need to do that. You can just work during a chunk of time, and that's it. So from 10:30, for me, it was 10:30 to 2:30, I'm sitting in my office, and that is when I'm working. And my daughter used to get home from school at 2:30. So when she got home, my rule was, my calendar is getting shut, my phone's getting put down, and Isabel and I are hanging out, and we're having time together now where I'm not working at all. And that really helped me to feel like I wasn't working all the time, but I was much more productive, because when I was working, I was really consistently just doing that, and I wasn't all over the place doing different things. So hopefully that helps you guys go out and organize for the next year and have fun with your business.